Hello again. Last time I was talking about 5 levels of leadership, and I told you that you have to level up, level up. But before I go further in 5 levels of leadership, let me give you some more introduction. And if you notice, if you watch the first one, it's so short. It's 12 minutes, and I'm hoping that 12 minutes give you enough time to reflect on what I said. So the best investment in tomorrow is to develop your influence today. And first, you have to invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, then you can influence other people. But if you don't influence on yourself, you're not gonna do anything at all. So what's your greatest investment possibility for the future? Some people may think they invest on education of their children. They don't invest on themselves, they invest on their children. They have to go to college. So they are not a good leader, because if you are a good leader, you have to invest in yourself first, and then you can invest on your children, education, college, or anything. So then sometimes people are wish something for their children that they themselves couldn't achieve it. I witnessed a lot of times parents that they want to be a doctor, for example, and because they couldn't be a doctor, they encourage their children to be a doctor. So maybe they see themselves on their children because they couldn't achieve it. They want their children achieve it. So they are hoping for next generation, not investing on themselves. And when you are a leader, you have to know a lot of things. First, let me tell you something. Time cannot and will not be managed, because you only have 24 hours. Even if you don't sleep, your time doesn't add up. Use your time wisely. Your time doesn't increase. So I suggest plan for using your time wisely. And you never get more time if you have deadline. You never get more time more than deadline. So be careful about that. For anyone who leads, the question is not, will my calendar be full? Maybe your calendar doesn't have time for family time. But the question is not that if you have a family time or not. The question is something else. But who and what will fill my calendar? That's the question. It doesn't matter if something is in your calendar or not. You have to find a way to put as much as possible in your calendar. You have to fill your calendar. That's why we fill the calendar. Because if you ignore some of duties, then your children are going to nag all the time that you don't have time for me. So be wise to manage your time. You need to examine yourself. your choices, your calendar, your priorities. These are the things you can control, but you cannot control time. You cannot manage time. You need to determine how you will spend 24 hours. Sometimes people think they have a lot of time and they do all things and they reach the deadline and all of a sudden they realize, oh, we don't have much time. They complain that they don't have much time. So if you plan wisely, then you don't have to complain about shortage of time. And most people overestimate the importance of most things. Sometimes you don't notice, you don't care enough about certain things that they are most valuable things. So you have to be careful about that, to set your priorities right. Sometimes you have to overlook something because it's not important. So you have to fast forward some things. It's like when you want to see a video, you don't need to watch all of them. You can fast forward some of them and pass and jump forward to another things that are most important. So the man or woman would walk into a cage full of dangerous lion and get them to do what he or she wanted. Have you seen that in a circus? How they could do this? If they could do this, how the leaders can do this? Really, just think about this. A man or a woman go to a cage and say something or do something, and the animals, maybe it's lion, maybe it's dolphin, maybe monkey, or any kind of animal, or dog, they train God to do what they want to do. So why leaders in the church cannot do the same for the people of the church? Are human or less than animals? Animals can learn from someone who is professional to teach the animal. He or she is patient enough. He knows what to do. That animal listen to him. So why leaders cannot do this? Because they don't know what is leadership is all about. They want to boss around. No, I bet if someone goes to the cage of lion and want to speak with authority, even louder than lion, lion doesn't speak to her or him. It doesn't work like that. Because you have to know how to deal with the animal to get him listen to you, right? So if leadership in the church is something wrong with the leadership and people come and go, people don't listen to the leader of the church, there is something wrong with the leadership for sure. 100% sure. I'm so sure about that. There is something wrong with the leadership in the church, that people don't listen to the leadership. Because animal can listen to trainer, a coach. If you want to coach somebody and that person doesn't listen to the coach, so there is something wrong with the coach. We are human beings. We are not less than animal. So there is something wrong here. Okay. When a small demand or given too much attention, big problem arises. When leaders give too much and they ask, is it enough or I give you more? That's what happened. Everything, everything collapses and nothing gonna work in that way. Because you cannot burden somebody until he or she breaks and said, oh, that's enough. I don't want anymore. That's not how it works. Leadership is not like this. You have to correct your leadership style. And let me end with this. Making everything a priority means nothing is a priority. A family that had become fed up with the noise and traffic of the city save their money, and finally they go to vacation. But in vacation, also they think about their job. They think about city. So they're supposed to rest in vacation, but they are thinking about their job in vacation. That's not gonna work as well. So sometimes it takes an emergency to force people to prioritize. Sometimes you have to reach the deadline. Sometimes your head hit the rock bottom, then to realize that, oh, I don't have much time. You have to, don't hurry. I have to finish this thing. I have to prioritize myself. So it's very important that you know your priorities. Uh, just for the end of this session, I mentioned that when you want to influence somebody else, you have to start with yourself, first yourself. You have to invest in yourself, and then you can influence others. Peace of God be with you all.